Are you wanting to declutter your home, but you're not even sure where to start? Well, today we're going to talk all about how to start decluttering your home when you feel overwhelmed. If we haven't met before, my name is Betsy. I have a wonderful husband and 2 small kids. And in today's video, I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about how to start decluttering your home when you feel overwhelmed. So in the first part of the video, we're going to talk about kind of a decluttering jumpstart. Where is the best place to begin to make the most impact? And then in the second part of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about decluttering maintenance. But first, let's talk 3 tips for how to start decluttering when you feel overwhelmed. Tip number 1 is to start small in one area and use a timer. The old rule holds true that work expands to the time you give it. So if you just give yourself 10 minutes or 15 minutes to declutter a very small area, it's gonna do 2 things. Number 1, it's gonna keep you from burnout. You're not trying to conquer 10 different spaces. You're just doing one small area for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I don't recommend going longer than a half an hour when you're starting if you feel overwhelmed, because you wanna have some quick wins that'll keep your momentum going. Number 2, it will keep you focused. If you set a timer for a set amount of time, it will most likely keep you focused on that one area and you won't be tempted to jump around to a bunch of different areas. So this is not a time for marathon decluttering. If you are overwhelmed, you start small, you eat the elephant one bite at a time. Tip number 2 is to declutter essential areas first. And for me, there are 4 areas in our home that I consider essential. Number 1 is our bed. Number 2 is kitchen counters. Number 3 is the laundry area. And number 4 is the admin area. Obviously, your bed, this is where you sleep every night. This can become a dumping ground for all kinds of random things. If you have company over and you need to throw stuff out of sight, or if you have laundry that piles up and you're dumping baskets of laundry on the bed. And so the first area that I like to make sure is clear and free of clutter is our bed. The second area is kitchen counters. Oh, these can be so challenging. Just focusing on getting those kitchen counters clear is so important and makes a tremendous difference for me mentally and helping me feel like I can continue moving and keep digging through more clutter. Area number 3 is the laundry area. The wonderful thing about laundry is that it can go while you're doing other things. So starting a load of laundry, get that going, say, while you're clearing off your bed or while you're working on the kitchen counters. And again, just small bites. You don't have to get the whole entire laundry area completely free of dirty laundry or all the clothes folded in one day. This is not a one-day thing, but you just start with one load at a time and you work your way through to get the laundry area clear. Number 4 is your admin area. For some people, an admin area might be a kitchen table or a kitchen island. Some people have an office or a den. Things tend to pile up that are related to bills or just certain administrative household tasks that need to be done. This area can really get out of control fast. That might be an area that you want to tackle last and get those other areas, the bed, kitchen counters, and laundry, done first, and then tackle the admin area if that's going to take a little bit more time. The third tip I have is to take the path of least resistance. 2 things I mean by that. Number 1 is start in the area that is easiest for you. Hey, I could set a timer. I could really make a dent here, and go with that, because quick wins are so important when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you don't know where to start, you don't know where to begin. It's so critical that you start getting some quick wins at the very beginning so that you feel encouraged and you feel like you can keep going. The second thing I mean by taking the path of least resistance is when you are decluttering an area, start with the easiest thing first. Always start with trash first. It's so easy. It's so impersonal. It just goes in the garbage can. So always start with trash first. Start with the stuff that you literally just don't have to make a decision. The second thing to go for in this path of least resistance is stuff that has a home and just needs to be put away. I know we need this, we're keeping it. It's just in the wrong room, it's just in the wrong spot, it just needs to be put away. That is quick, that is easy, and that's not mentally or emotionally taxing. And then the next step is to get rid of the rest. And by get rid of, I mean declutter. So you're donating it or you're giving it away or you're selling it with those remaining things. You've taken care of the things that are easy, and now what remains is stuff that you need to get rid of. This is always the hardest step because there is some decision making involved. You need to decide either to find a home for something that you're looking at there in that space and going, do I want to keep this? And if I do, it obviously doesn't belong on the kitchen counter. It can't live here. So where is it going to live? And you are kind of having to make some hard decisions. And this is the point of friction, right? This is the point where decluttering gets hard. But if you have gotten that other stuff out of the way first, if you have thrown trash away, if you have put stuff away that you know you're going to keep, and that's put away, you have much less visual clutter to deal with in front of your face that makes you feel overwhelmed. And you're just going to be looking at what's remaining and going, okay, do I really want to keep this? Do I need to find a home for it, or does it need to go? So those are my 3 tips for how to start decluttering when you feel overwhelmed. Now, just like I promised, I will give you a few quick tips for decluttering maintenance, maintaining your home rather than feeling like you are in crisis mode. And one of the biggest lies about decluttering is that you do it once and then you're done, right? We all know that's not true. You may have some bigger decluttering sessions or some months or some years where you get rid of a lot of stuff in your home, but there's never a time when we stop decluttering because stuff keeps coming into our home. So for decluttering maintenance, here's a few tips. Number 1, and this is so cliche, we've heard it so much, I almost hate to say it, but it's so crucial, and that is if you take it out, put it away. That's it. If you take it out, put it away. And if you will do this throughout the day, you will notice such a difference in the amount of stuff laying around your home. It takes an extra second, but it is so worth it in the long run. Number 2, set a timer and declutter daily. And sometimes people hear that and they think, declutter daily? Like, I don't have time to do a decluttering session every day. But when you have decluttered, the maintenance of keeping the clutter down is so much easier and it goes so quickly. It's just maybe 1 or 2 random things a day that you find and it's like, we don't need this. We can toss it, or we can donate it, or whatever. It's going to keep you from getting back into that place of feeling overwhelmed. Number 3 is become a strict gatekeeper and just say no. There is a mindset shift that happens when you have decluttered your home, hopefully, where you are shifting your mindset and thinking, okay, it's no longer just I throw the doors wide open and I let everything in and then I deal with the consequences later. No, rather it's at the gate, it's at the door, literally sometimes at the door. I'm saying, that's not coming into our home. We don't need that. It's just gonna take up space. I don't have room to store it. It's gonna end up on a surface somewhere, just adding to the clutter. What's really hard is when other people give us things. That's really difficult, or there's gifts or things that come with a certain amount of guilt attached sometimes that are just a little bit more tricky. But if you will work on flexing this muscle of becoming a good gatekeeper, it's going to save you so much frustration and overwhelm down the road. Number 4, and this one might sound a little corny, but it's to start eliminating flat surfaces in your home. And obviously there's flat surfaces that are built in that you're not going to remove, like your kitchen counters, but say a bunch of extra tables, magazine racks, bookcases. You know, as you're paring down and decluttering things, you may find that there's just certain items of furniture that you don't need anymore. And in fact, to keep it just gives another surface for things to collect on. And so that's just a quick tip you might find helpful in decluttering maintenance, is to start eliminating the flat surfaces. Well, that's it. I hope this was encouraging for you. If you were interested in more kind of boots on the ground decluttering content, I did a series called Simplifying Our Home, and I will link that playlist here if you are interested. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.